Well, good morning, beautiful people. It is Monday, 9:02 a.m. Man, that happened again so quick. And it is September 21st, and we have a very great call this morning. We have one of our partners, both Ron and Beth are here from Cigna this morning, so they're our special guests, and they'll be talking about what Cigna is doing for 2020 moving into 2021 for the selling season for AEP, and we're going to give them the floor. But before we do that, I have some housekeeping items I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of. And how we normally start the call, we jump into our training calendar. So first off, we've got a pretty decent week on training this week. Coming up this morning, Devoted is hosting a coffee talk at 11 a.m., and that's specifically for HPM. So you have Jeanette that's doing that, as well as, I believe, Jamie. So depending on what market you're in, you can jump on that call. That's this morning at 11 a.m. Later this afternoon, United Healthcare is hosting their DSNP training for those folks that have Medicare and Medicaid. That starts at 3 p.m. today. Moving on to Tuesday, the 22nd, that's tomorrow, Humana is doing a training session for their brand new Honor plans, which is designed specifically for veterans. So this is a brand new plan. It does not exist. So if you are selling Humana out there during AEP, you might want to check out that rollout session tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Molina is also doing a training session, same time, 10 o'clock, if you are interested in attending that. 11 o'clock tomorrow, WellMed, one of our great partners, providers, one of the largest MSO groups between Florida and Texas, is one of our partners. They're doing an agent update tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If you are working with doctors, or you need more doctors, or you want to learn how to work with doctors, please be on this call. This is very important. Anytime that we have our provider groups that you can participate in, it is highly recommended because they're going to have some awesome news. And it's your chance to get in front of them and meet the team, also talking to them about what they've got going on with their reps out in the field, because a lot of these companies do have representatives that go out and do lead generation. So if you're there, if you're talking to those folks and you have a relationship, it is awesome. All right, so also on Tuesday the 22nd, United Healthcare is doing a rollout session for AEP. That's at 1 o'clock, so you can jump on there and do a rollout session, just covering the basics for AEP for United Healthcare. Again, that's tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Moving on to Wednesday, only one training on Wednesday. Bright Health is going to do their rollout session at 10 a.m., so you can jump on there, and we'd be happy to see what they've got going on for AEP starting at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday the 24th, United Healthcare is doing another AEP rollout from 9:30 to 11 on Thursday the 24th. Again, this is just covering AEP and broad strokes really on their products and what they've got going on moving into the new year. And then also on Thursday at 10 o'clock, CarePlus is doing their 2021 training, and this one's in Spanish, so I'm going to do my best to translate this in Spanish. It's Aspectos Esenciales de CarePlus 2021 AEP. So I bet you didn't know I spoke Spanish, but there you go. So, so that's at 10 o'clock. If you prefer to have the information in Spanish for CarePlus for 2021, there you go. On Thursday the 24th, also 11:30, Devoted is specifically doing a broker coffee and chat session for the Jacksonville market. If you're selling Devoted in Jacksonville, in that area, you can jump on there. But any of these carrier trainings, just keep in mind that although they're market specific, they do have a lot of general information that you should know about the carrier. So if you need to jump on there, you can. On Thursday the 24th, Humana at 1 o'clock is doing their Marketing Resource Center training and also Facebook advertising. And let me tell you, we've been getting a lot of great feedback on these classes. But one point on this, if you are looking to do Facebook advertising and get access to the Facebook trainings, and advertising pieces, the actual marketing pieces, you do have to complete the training. Otherwise, you will not have access to those Facebook materials for you to grow your business. So that's on Thursday, the 24th at 1 o'clock. And finally, Friday, the 25th, this week, WellMed is doing a face-to-face training for those folks, and we just talked about that earlier. If you're interested, they are going to be doing one for United Healthcare. If you're selling United Healthcare, you can pop into that at WellMed. That's at 9 o'clock, and that's down in Orlando. That's a physical meeting. If you're brave enough, you are welcome to join. I believe they're going to be feeding you, but no less than coffee, of course. And then last training of the week, United Healthcare is doing another DSNP training at 10 a.m. on Friday. So that's the training for the week. Just keep in mind, guys, that you do have the links. We send this to you on a weekly basis. And I always keep the links in our YouTube channel. When you're watching the video, you can just go down to the description and click on that link to jump out to the training calendar. And all of the individual links are in each training. You just click there, and Tom Ryan has done a great job at organizing that and making sure that you have the registration links and you're good to go. So that's the training. Please take advantage of it. But most importantly, please make sure you have your 2021 certifications up and running. And specifically with Cigna, I got a report on Friday that only 19 of you have recertified for 2021. We need help with Cigna. This is a 5-star plan, and both Ron Landeras, who you know from his previous role, is going to be on the call to tell you about that, and also Beth. So just make sure you get your certifications done. On other news here, we have United Healthcare. This is big, guys. If you're selling United Healthcare, their DSNP RPPO will be non-commissionable. That means you will not get paid on it for their DSNP PPO regional product as of October 1st. Okay, if you've got a pen, write this down. This is going to be a code on the. It's actually the pink book. I think it's actually a pink stripe on the book. This is the RPPO DSNP plan. The plan code is R as in Romeo 0759-003. I'll repeat that. R0759-003. You should have gotten an email from United Healthcare telling you that it will no longer be commissionable as of any business written on October 1st. So if you have those kits, destroy them. Why are they getting rid of that? Well, the reason why is because they just rolled out with some new DSNP products that you should be aware of. So if you're unfamiliar with that, please get with your local broker manager and they will brief you on that. But again, they're doing training sessions so you can jump on that and learn more about their DSNP product. So please pay attention to that. I don't want anyone writing business and not getting paid for it because you guys work very, very hard for your business. On other news, WellCare, their Pearl system, their personal URL, you now have your own personal enrollment website with WellCare. Actually, you've always had it, but they've moved it. And so you need to be able to access your personal URL from your Ascend login. And that's your new enrollment platform, which is actually a Centene product. Make sure you go in there and figure out what your Pearl address is. If you have a lead, you can actually jump into your Ascend and send it on out via email, and so you can actually copy that Pearl and save it. So everyone has an individual personal URL. Unfortunately, it's no longer the old ID number that you used to have, which was your writing number. So that's been changed. So make sure that you go into your WellCare Ascend enrollment tool and figure out what your Pearl is, because you can actually market that, people enroll, and you get full credit for that. So make sure you've got access to that. I was told last week that AHIP had an additional training on the platform, which is your discrimination training. Those of you that finished AHIP early, I highly recommend that you log back into your AHIP and just ensure that you have all of those required trainings done. I don't know what the consequences are yet if you don't have that discrimination training completed. There's no additional test. It's just in a slideshow. Apparently they added that in a little bit later in the season. So if you don't have that discrimination training done, please make sure you log into your AHIP. Make sure you get that done The last thing you want is getting a notification in the middle of AEP saying, hey, you're missing a piece of this. You know, whether it's from AHIP or from one of the carriers, that's a scary thing because you should be focused on marketing and you should be focused on closing sales. So if AHIP is completed and you see all the check marks, green, 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 all the way down for 2021, then you have nothing to worry about. But please take a moment this morning, just log in there and check to make sure that you've got specifically that discrimination training completed. All right, on carrier news, Humana has moved their dental enrollment and their quoting tool over to the enrollment hub. So what you need to do is when you log into your portal system on the left-hand side, you've got Enroll Hub. Just make sure that you're going to the enrollment hub through your portal to do a dental quote now. The old links are no longer going to be working. So if you do have dental leads, if you have a client that's interested in dental and you want to send them out a quote, you have to do it through that enrollment hub. So make sure that you log into the portal and you get that done. All right, on other news. So let's talk about what you should be doing right now, okay? First things first, everyone should have their certifications done. Everyone should have their trainings done. You know, go to the trainings, complete the trainings that are going on this week, the ones that interest you or the ones that you need to brush up on, and touch base with the broker managers. You're going to have Ron and Beth on the call today. They're going to talk about, you know, Cigna, but please make sure that you touch base with each of those managers there because you want to have a relationship in case you get jammed up. But more importantly, make sure you're ordering your sales kit. If you have not ordered your sales kit, please stop what you're doing and do that today on all the carriers that you think you're going to be selling. Health Plan Markets does have a limited supply of sales kits, but it is going to be first come, first serve. So if we run out of kits, we're going to be stuck in the same position because most of these carriers have closed their local offices and will not reopen until later on in the year. Luckily, we've got some great help with certain carriers. I know Ron is known for running around town with kits, but you know, let's not stress him out. Let's make sure that we're prepared. So please make sure that you go onto your portals and order your kits, your sales kits. If you need help with that, you know how to reach out to the broker managers and they'll walk you through on how to do that. Other than that, it's all about relationships at this point. Please reach out to your book of business. Please talk to your clients. Set those appointments for AEP. Call your doctors. Make sure that you have, you know, your doctors, you know, that you touch base with them and let them know that you're still out there doing what you're doing and ask them if they need help. You know, build that relationship. And even if you pop into the doctor's office and drop off some donuts and some business cards and flyers, you've done most than most agents do. So, you know, build those relationships and make sure you keep that tight, tight, tight. Last thing is this is the last ditch effort I'm going to mention. We have a CRM system, our customer relation management software system. We are generating leads, and only those agents that are using our CRM system will be round robin leads. These leads will be coming from all over the place, whether they're from the billboard, the mailers, online leads, whatever the case might be. But if you do not have our CRM system, you may not be getting leads from HPM. So, you know, if you're interested in getting that set up, this is going to be the last time I'm mentioning it for AEP. You'll need to reach out to John Minotti at the office. Everyone has our phone number. Please call for John, and John will give you some information on how you can get that set up. It is absolutely free to use, but we don't guarantee that you will always get leads because they are round robin. But at least you'll have a free CRM system to manage your clients. So you're there, you're all set up, and you're good to go for AEP. I hope everyone is ready because it is coming swift and fast. All right, so with that, I am going to open it up to Mr. Ron Landeras and Beth. So Ron, are you there? Beth, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you
Awesome.
This morning, Justin?
Good morning,
Good.
Beth. How are you?
Good. Ron, are you on?
We're waiting for Ron. Let me see.
I know I'm having computer problems this morning, so I joined by phone.
That's fine. Let me see here. He says he's on the call. Let me see. He's hiding somewhere in here. Bear with me. Maybe. Ron, are you there?
There we go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're unmuted. All right, great. Okay, well, guys, let's get right to it. I know we're pressed for time here, up against the wall, not only just AEP, but even today's call. We got a lot to do. So first and foremost, I want to introduce myself. For those of you who know me, I've come from previous places, but now I'm here with Cigna. Very happy to be here with a very well-respected, very well-branded organization, as well as five-star organization. I'm accompanied today with Miss Beth Torrey, which is my counterpart in the Seminole, Volusia area. I'm going to be very forthcoming with you guys. We're having a little technical issues here, so we're going to be going through the slides with a little help of Justin. So, Justin, if you can, move right to the second one. If you're there, this is our Florida Broker Manager slide. And basically, guys, take a quick snap of this. I'm sure Justin will be able to provide this for you. But as you can see, we have Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, and the Treasure Coast. Again, Orlando and Daytona market will be represented today. But again, please reach out to your broker managers. Everybody on that page right there has more than an excess of 20 years in the Medicare Advantage space, so a lot of wealth of knowledge. So before I move on to the next slide, again, I want to introduce Mrs. Beth Torrey. She is our Daytona Market broker manager. To take it away for tools and technology in the next slide.
Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate it. And thank you, Justin, and everybody on the phone. Wanted to go over a couple, and you may want to take a picture of this if you've got your phone. Want to go over a couple of the links and the things that we use the most here at Cigna. The first one is the Cigna Agent Resource Line, or we refer to it as Carl. If you hear any of us talk about Carl, that's what we're meeting. It's the Cigna Agent Resource Line. This is a line that you can call in for support. You can ask them to look up doctors. You can ask them about certification. They'll look up formularies for you. Just answer all your general questions. So this will be your first stop if you have a question about Cigna, is to go ahead and call the Carl line or send them an email. Calling in will be a little bit faster, but they can help you with everything other than telling you which policy you need to write for your client. You and your client have to make that decision. They can't do customer service questions. That you have to call customer service for on the line that the beneficiary gets. But they can help you with most everything else. As broker managers, we suggest that this might be your first call in if you have a question or a problem. And, of course, if it doesn't get answered or you have further questions, definitely reach out to your broker manager. The next one down is Cigna for Brokers. This is a relationship management tool that you can get on. You also can get to, there'll be links on there to get to Salesforce. We provide Salesforce for all of our brokers. Also, it will get you into the Connect Your DRX. And I'm sure you're familiar with this on some of the other carriers. It's where you can go in and you can actually do rates. You can look up doctors. You can get your Pearl through this, your Pearl for Cigna. So all of those things can be done. At this point in time, you can't enroll on this on the telephone, but you can go ahead and send out scopes via email to your client. You can also send out the applications and quotes via email to your clients. If you go ahead and go on and do the whole application and then email it to your client, they can open it up, just click yes, I accept it, and it goes right into the system. You can then go in and retrieve that scope if you're someone who likes to have it all printed off, or retrieve that application. The Pearl, there again, is on the Connect Your DRX website, and you can get to that from Cigna for Brokers. Custom Point is where you go ahead and order all your applications and customized materials. I hear some background noise. Hopefully you can hear me. But that's where you go in and order your kits. The 2021s will be up on the 28th, and they are assuring that we get them in time to go ahead and start AEP. Producers University, this is an extremely valuable link here, and with this link you get into our internal management tool. It will go ahead and you can get into your trainings, do your certifications from there. And you can get into several different areas. You can see trainings that are going to be given online by instructors, such as if we post a training. You can also, there's a resource section, and the resource section will have everything you need to be able to do business with Cigna. There are job aids on there. There's videos. You can get to your plan information, your EOCs, your summary of benefits, everything you need. It can be done on here. There's also an Excel spreadsheet for your providers, which I use all the time. You can download it to your computer and get to it and sort by doctor, by their group, by the county, whatever you need. So that's a great tool to have. And then we also have the provider directory. This is your online directory. And this is just like any other carriers where you go online and you look up the doctors that you need for your client. Okay, Justin, do you want to go to the next slide, please?
Sure.
I can't see if it's up there.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Hopefully, okay, thank you. COVID has presented a lot of challenges for all of us, as we well know. What Cigna did is they made a lot of changes really fast, and one of these is the broker-assisted line. So with this, it's a great way to be able to enroll your client. You go ahead and do your compliant presentation. Everything you need to do, go with the doctors, go over, finding their the prescriptions that they have. Do everything you need to do to the point that your client says, yes, I want to enroll. At that point in time, you explain to your client that you're going to make a three-way call into the Cigna assistance line. The three of you get on the phone to the assistant line. They'll ask you for a little bit of information about your client, the plan you're writing, your agent number, and all of that. And at that point, then the rep will go ahead and give you and your client an 800 number. Now, you know CMS does not allow two licensed brokers to be on the phone at the same time. So at that point, everybody hangs up, and your client needs to call back in to that same telephone rep with that 800 number that they gave, and they will do nothing but take the application. They will not advise them. They will not change the application at all. It is a recorded line. So if there's ever a problem where you're not the agent of record, we can remedy that very easily. But they will go ahead and take the application. Once the application is completed, they will send you an email verifying that with a copy of the application. So you have everything for your records. Okay. Of course, we do have paper applications, and we also have where you can email a scope and an application through Connecture, as well as you can go ahead and do scopes through our telephone line we have. We had very limited time, so didn't go into all that. But I know you all are here to go ahead and see the benefits, so I'm going to turn it back to Ronald to go ahead and go through some benefits for you. Ronald? Next slide.
Yep, we're ready.
Okay. We're going to jump in the essence of time. I'm just going to go right to the map slide there.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Justin. All right, cool, guys. And again, I just want to make this very clear, guys. The slide with the contact numbers for myself, for Beth, I know that we're a little bit on time today, so please reach out to your broker manager. She'll be more than happy to go over, or myself or any of my counterparts will be more than happy to go over all our great tools and resources. So here's Central Florida. You see Daytona, Orlando, and Tampa. Again, Daytona is Beth, Tampa is Mark Iannello, and myself. And you'll see here we've expanded to Sumter. We've gone to Brevard County. So we have some expansions. But again, we have a huge footprint in Central Florida, so a lot for us to go. But now to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about first Orlando. Now, guys, again, this is going to be very simple. Cigna has made it not only a brand name because of the commercial relationships and so forth, but you have a plan here for basically everybody here. We have plans, except for the PPO that is not in Polk County, but Lake Orange, Osceola, Polk, and Seminole have the preferred Medicare, preferred savings, the primary, and the total care. You have a plan here for every one of your memberships. The preferred Medicare, very rich HMO, zero premium, low maximum out of pocket. But if you notice that your inpatient is $95 for the first 6 days, zeros on the primary, the specialist, the transportation and the dental allowance. I want to just really quickly mention that our dental allowance is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial. Our plans all across the board have a dental allowance between $1,000 and $2,000 depending on your plan, but this will allow the member to go anywhere they want, no referrals, no network, as long as they're not on the Medicare list, that they're not taking Medicare or they're not they're not accepting Medicare patients. They can go to any doctor, any dentist, no network, no referrals, up to the allowance per plan. So all of our plans across the board have it from $1,000 to $2,000. You move to the next, Cigna Preferred Savings Medicare. Now, this is the plan for your low usage members, the members that are pretty healthy. They see their specialist once or twice a year, primary once a year. Still very competitive at $3,900 maximum out of pocket. The inpatient hospital stay a little bit higher, but again, low usage members. But you're going to go down, you also have the dental allowance. The prescriptions, tiers 1 and 2 are very competitive at 0 and 4. And I didn't mention prior, but that rich HMO has a tiers 1 and 2 at 0 copayment. Then you have the Cigna Primary Medicare Plan. Now, again, we are a 5-star plan, so calling this an LIS plan doesn't do it enough justice. This is a plan that is very rich, but if you notice down there, you have all the zeros across the board: PCP, specialist, labs, x-rays, transportation, and $2,000 dental allowance. Now, this is packaged for those members who are not full Medicare, FBDE, full Medicaid, but so it caters more to those LIS members because they won't be paying the $1,890. But don't mistake this plan for just that. If you have a member who is interested in very rich zero across the board transportation and a $2,000 allowance for dental, $1,890 might not be. $1,850 or whatever. $1,850. I apologize. Will be something that is very beneficial for them. So moving on to the total care, you're going to see there that this is for the QMB, SLMB pluses of the world, the FBDE, full Medicaid. So very clear, I want to make this, guys. The Cigna Total Care is for full Medicaid. Again, a very competitive, unlimited trips, $2,000 dental allowance, and of course, everything else that you've known the full Medicaid plans to have. So again, rich HMO, give back HMO, LIS, and then you have your full Medicaid. Also new to the market, guys, to Lake Orange, Osceola, and Seminole is our PPO. Very important that you guys know this is a nationwide PPO. So if a member is, in fact, out of the state of Florida in the Cigna Medicare network, they will be considered in-network. Unlike some other plans that you currently may sell right now that are regional, this is a national PPO network. Again, dental allowance, the prescription drugs, very competitive. So again, across the board, guys, you have in Central Florida, you have a plan for basically every one of your prospective members. Now, let's move on to the next market, which is Sumter County. And what you'll notice, it is a new county. For those of you who sell in Sumter, it is a very competitive market. There are a lot of players up there, but we came with the Cigna Preferred, very rich HMO, $3,700 maximum out of pocket, zero for primary and specialist. You have the dental allowance and the very low co-payments on tiers 1 and 2 at 0. So again, Central Florida, any questions? Hablo español. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. Now, to a very important markets, Daytona and Tampa, I'm going to turn it back to my colleague, Beth Torrey, to talk to you about Daytona and the Tampa markets.
Okay, thank you. Do we have Daytona on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right. One thing I do want to point out that Ronald did touch on is Cigna tried to make it very easy for brokers. So when you're talking about the plans, you're going to see basically the same plan names in all of our regions. The coverages might be a little bit different, and the plan number will be different, but it's very easy for a broker because we don't have a lot of different names and a lot of different plans out there. They're very, very similar. So when you look at the Daytona market, you're going to see the preferred, just like Ronald talked about. One of the great things about this for next year is we have put a lot of money into our Medicare program, Medicare program. And for instance, if you look at 2020 to 2021, for instance, on the hospitalization, it's gone down by $100 a day, and that's a huge drop, $100 a day. So hopefully it'll be a really, really competitive. And then we also have the savings plan. Now, the savings plan in both Orlando and Daytona is a $50 give back. We also have the primary plan that Ronald was talking about, and there again, I'm just going to kind of reiterate here. If someone is LIS, of course, they do not pay the premium on this, but for those who are not LIS, they can choose this plan, and they can go ahead and pay the premium. With Daytona, it's $18.40, but they get a very, very rich plan. It's a $500 per stay in the hospital, and when you're comparing that to $295 per day, you know, an average hospital stay is 2 or 3 days, so that's very competitive. Plus the fact you get that $2,000 worth of dental with no network, no fee schedule. The only thing it does not cover is cosmetic, like your veneers or teeth whitening. But dentures are covered in there. If they have to have an implant, it can be covered in there. So it's a very, very nice allowance. Think of it as a bucket of money that person has to be able to spend. They can get anything done they want other than cosmetic, and it'll be covered up to whatever their dollar amount is on their plan. And then the total care, as Ronald said, just like to mention that it is full Medicaid. So your QMB plus, your SLMB plus, and your FBDE are the ones that will be covered under that plan. Your partials go under the primary plan. Okay, if you'll go to the next slide, please. Now the next slide shows Tampa. You'll see the same plans again, so the same plan names and virtually the exact same coverages. A couple of things I'll point out to you there again is the plan numbers are different, so you want to make sure you do have the correct plan number when you're talking about the different regions. But a couple of things to highlight things I'll mention here is on the give back plan. One of the things they've done in Tampa this year is change that. That's the third plan over. It's changed that to a $100 give back. So that's going to be very, very competitive in the Tampa region. The other thing they've added to the Tampa region is lifestyle drugs. For instance, the generic of Viagra, they've added at a zero copay. So for many clients, that might be a really good thing. But basically, as you go from area to area, the plan names are going to stay the same, so it's easier to remember. You just have to look at the individual benefits. The other thing I'd like to mention real quickly is we also have opened up the region in the Treasure Coast, 3 counties in the Treasure Coast. We will have one plan there. It'll be very similar to the plan. We're not showing this right now, but very similar to the plan that we've got, the PPO that we have in the Orlando market. So if you have any interest in that, I know some of you may be in the Brevard area down kind of towards the bottom of Brevard and Treasure Coast, maybe something you want to look at, just go ahead and reach out to me or Ronald, and we'll be glad to go ahead and go over that for you. So reason we're speeding through this is I know we have limited time and we don't want to keep you all too long, but if you'll go to the last slide, please, or the next slide. Mm-hmm. So basically, in closing, we're positioned here to help you and your best selling year ever with Cigna. We really appreciate you thinking of Cigna as one of your primary companies. We're expanding our footprints every year. You're going to see huge changes and then over the next 5 years in Cigna. Please remember, an awful lot of people have had Cigna on the commercial side at some point in their lifetime through their work. So it makes an easy transition over to Medicare. We're trying to create all-around value for you and your customers, offering access to Medicare product portfolio in your future and keeping you in mind. So together all the way. You and Cigna together all the way is a motto of ours. And go to the last slide again. Mm-hmm. This shows the broker managers there again. And Ronald, do you want to wrap this up?
Yes. Thank you so much again, Beth. And again, I just want to say that along with myself and Mark and our counterpart Willie Huerta down in South Florida, so many years of experience. I myself am so proud to be part of this organization because of that. The growth, just quickly, guys, just to let you guys know, Cigna this year has spent a large amount of money. We were literally coming off of a meeting right now about all the different things that Cigna is doing, really committing to Medicare. So if you guys haven't really been engaged with them as of last year, as you guys can see very briefly, the benefits have definitely increased. They're very competitive. But as Beth was talking about, guys, remember, this is a plan that people know. There's very few people that have not had either direct or indirect contact with Cigna, whether through an employee. And even though they are, in fact, different networks, you're still going to have a large amount of the Cigna doctors in the network that people are familiar with. So, again, I implore you guys, take a quick snap of this broker manager's page there so you can get all the information and the contact information. Again, there's a lot more that we didn't go over with this as far as technology, how to enroll, how to use Connect, Share, all these other things. But please reach out to any of us in your respective market, or if you just want to talk to Beth and not talk to me. And here in Orlando, please feel free. We all have one team or one team, one goal. So again, guys, remember key takeaways: a plan for every one of your members, a 5-star plan. So after the 7th of December, you can continue to write and put that on a quality plan. And again, a lot of marketing dollars have been put here, guys. So you will see the Cigna logo anywhere. As we like to say at Cigna, where seniors are going to be, Cigna is going to be. So again, thank you guys for the time. I'm sorry we went a little bit over, but again, a lot of good information. Thank you,
Ron.
Justin.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and great job. So I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys, do you and Beth still have time for us for questions?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
We were just thinking, you
Awesome.
guys were on a little bit of time. We're ready.
No, we're good. We're a little over, but we can make it work. So before I release the hounds here, because they're going to start asking questions, number one, team, just remember that this call is recorded and it is a video, so you don't have to ask Beth and Ron for the phone numbers. It's going to be on the video that I'm going to send out later this morning, so just check our YouTube channel. If you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notifications so you get the notifications and you'll be sent a link to the video, and this will have all the information that we went through on the slides, because I know some of you had called in just like they did instead of actually seeing the slides that they had today, but it is recorded so you can go back through this call later. Also, the specific trainings Ron was mentioning, please make sure you get with our training calendar, because as Ron and Beth send me these trainings, I put them on the training calendar. Tom organizes that as well, so make sure that you have our training deck, and when you see a Cigna training, get on there, and they'll be there as well. And then lastly, if you're not contracted with Cigna, please send us an email or call or flare gun, whatever you got to do, because we're running out of time here. Jessica will get you contracted. Everyone knows Jessica. Just say, hey, I'm interested in getting contracted with Cigna, and we'll go from there. So with that, let's open it up for. Does anyone have any questions this morning? Okay, well, I have a question. So, because this has been asked to me, is Cigna going to remain 5 stars next year?
Yeah. We won't know that until October, but all indications are very good, and we are hoping.
Gotcha.
I have a question, Justin.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. My question is, the Cigna Dual is only full Medicaid. However, that is in all markets, Volusia, Orange, Tampa.
Yes,
yes,
so,
you guys.
Yeah, his question is the dual SNP specifically for full dual eligibles in all markets?
No, that's not my question.
You want me to take that, Ronald?
Oh.
I was basically going to say that the Cigna Total Care, in fact, is the full dual for all markets. It's QMB plus, SLMB plus, at BDE, full Medicaid. And for those who don't qualify full, we have the Cigna Primary Medicare, which does, in fact, cater for those who do not have full Medicaid, but is a very rich product.
Okay, so that is the same in all Florida.
let me add modify that just a little bit, because for Central Florida that is the case. We do have some plans in the Panhandle that are handled under our Alabama office, and those plans it does not apply to. But for Central Florida, it is just full duals only.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there's another question that came in. Do you guys have flyers available, and does it include your picture?
We do have flyers available. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Beth, you take this one.
Okay. We do have flyers available. The 2021s are not on Custom Point at this point in time. I know with a lot of the flyers and that sort of thing, you can include your picture. I'm not quite sure about the brochure. If you'll either email Ron or myself, we can go ahead and look into it. But I know a lot of the flyers, the postcards, things like that, some of them there is a small cost for, others there are not. But you can put your picture on those.
Okay, guys, please make sure that you use your phone. Thank you.
I feel like we're at the Academy Awards. That was the
that was the ending music there. It was appropriate. No, we still have a couple more questions. So another question came in through the chat. What's the process on the dental, and how do the dentists get paid? And this question just really just hangs around. You know, we've had a lot of issues with clients going into the dentist and saying that they're going to get it covered, and then they end up getting billed by the dentist, and it's a reimbursement. So we're just trying to get some clarification on how that dental process works when we send our clients to the dentist.
Ron, do you want to take that, or do you want me to?
Well, I'll go ahead, and then please, again, like anything else, please help me clarify if I'm getting something off here. So basically, again, 1,000 to 2,000 across the board on our plans. No member referral needed. No, no specific. There is a list of the dentists who don't take Medicare who would not be on this, but again, we'll send that out to Justin you can check on your own. But as far as the payment, the dentist will be the one putting in the bills. The member doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to pay for services. The dentist will be putting in the claim. So the member we made this very turnkey for the member to just go ahead and go to any dentist, no referral needed, and any dentist that's not on that Medicare non-usage list.
Okay.
Okay. Let me add one thing to that, please. We actually have the way that Ron was talking about, and that's the way we prefer. That a dentist go in, they can show their card to the dentist. The dentist can call the number on the back of the card. Normally the dentist is paid within 5 days to a week. They get their check in. So they're paid very rapidly on this. If the dentist refuses to do it that way, the member can go ahead and pay for it out of their pocket or put it on a credit card and fill out a claim form, a Cigna claim form, and send it in, and then they'll reimburse the member. But that's not the preferred way, because we prefer that the customer doesn't have to do anything at all with it and doesn't have to get involved with it. Also, we have a dental line now that if you have trouble finding a dentist, you can call into the dental line. It is different than Carl, and it is different than the customer service line, which I'm searching for it right now as we speak. And as soon as I get that, I'll get it up for you. But the member can call, or not, I'm sorry, the dentist can call that line, or the member can call that line and find a dentist in their area that is familiar with the program. So hopefully that will help. And I'll get that to you in just a second here.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Beth.
So another question regarding the PPO. You said it's a nationwide PPO, so they can basically use it anywhere in the U.S. And if they're out of state, how does that work as well? You know, do they pay the in-network co-payment if the doctor accepts Cigna?
Well, again, Beth, help me with this one, but it is a nationwide
Sure.
PPO. So again, if they're in a Cigna network area, then they will be considered in-network. If not, they'll pay out-of-network co-payments.
Correct. So if I go to California because I'm visiting my kids, as long as we have a network in California where I am, you can look that up on the internet or you can call into customer service. And if they have a network and you use one of those doctors, it'll be considered in network. Otherwise, they can go to any doctor and it'll be out of network.
Perfect. And do you have, another question here, do you have preferred doctor groups that you're working with as far as primary care doctors?
Yes, actually we do. What I'll do is we'll be working with Justin as far as like the PCBs, but just off the top of my head here, we do work with Orlando Health, Physicians Associates, we work with OFP, we work with Physicians Trust, work with Aegis, just to name a few. And again, Cigna is one of those brands that a lot of the doctors recognize it, and they really like working with. For those of you on the call who have worked with providers who work with Cigna, they can tell you that they really do enjoy working with Cigna. So again, we'll be cascading that to Justin of who are providers that we use mostly, like the groups and so forth. But again, the great thing about Cigna is that we have expanded our provider network substantially from last year. So for any of you on the phone who did have Cigna last year on your radar and did want to use it, or you couldn't because of the network challenges, we have definitely addressed them this year.
Awesome. All right. Is there any other questions this morning for myself, Ron, or Beth? We got another chat here. Let's see. It says, how do we know if the doctor's in network when I'm out of the area? And do they have a number that they can call to check? What's the best way to check for the doctors whether they're in network or out of network if the member's out of state?
They can either go online to the Cigna directory and look online, or they can call in the number on the back of their card to customer service, and they can help them look.
Yeah, that's going to be best way. And just as a reminder, guys, and this is across the board generic information, do not call the doctor's office and ask them if they take Cigna, or any plan for that matter. Why do we not do that? Because specifically, you're going to get, the young girl up front that has 15 patients in front of her, the doctor's screaming at her, and you're calling to ask if they take Cigna. Well, sure, they take Cigna, Cigna commercial, Cigna employer, and then you told the member that they take Cigna, you enrolled the member, they go over there and they say, no, we don't take this Cigna Medicare plan. That just goes across the board, guys. Don't call the doctor's office and ask them if they take the specific plan. Always use the online directory, and when in doubt, you can call broker services, or you can call Ron or Beth, and they'll be happy to look up a doctor to ensure that that doctor is in network, okay? That's the number one reason why we get Section 8 or CTMs or whatever you guys want to call them, where they yank you out of the field and you have to do an investigation. Please do not call the doctor's office and ask them if they take a certain plan. You will most likely get misinformation.
Well put.
Yeah. Any other questions this morning? We know, one last question here. We know that some of the carriers are doing the health risk assessment forms, and there's like an administration fee. Are you guys participating in that HRA form?
Do you want to take that, Ron, or you want me to?
No, go ahead.
Okay. We are not doing it the exact same way that some of the other carriers are. We do want the people to go and get their regular physicals, but what we do is, and I assume it's going to be carried on for next year. I haven't heard anything other than that. We are actually giving the member a $50 gift card. There's one of 3 places they can get a gift card for, rather than doing an administration fee to the broker itself. So, in fact, any of you that have Cigna customers, we've actually, usually we cut it off in May of each year, but we've extended it throughout to the end of the year. So people can still go get their physicals either virtually or in person, and they will be eligible for that $50 gift card. There is a form, everybody gets sent one, but there's also a form on the customer line that they can check into online to be able to get that form to give to their doctor if their doctor doesn't already have it. But it is a little bit different than some of the other carriers do.
Right, okay. It's always encouraged to get your member to do that anyway for their safety and health, and also the integration with the doctor. The quicker the doctor gets that HRA form, the quicker that care gets delivered, and the quicker that relationship starts, which ensures that stickiness with your member so they don't disenroll when they have a bad experience at the doctor's office. So we encourage them either way to get that done.
If you call your member and say, hey, how would you like to get a $50 gift card if you haven't done your physical for this year, you use it for Christmas or something, you'll be very popular with them.
Absolutely. All right, team, any other questions before we let Beth and Ron back at it?
I do, Justin, have that dental customer service. It's a brand new line they just put in that goes right to the dental department. So if the member cannot find a dentist, they can call the line or you can call for them. It's 1-800-213-7298. Again, it's 1-800-213-7298. And what I can do, Justin, I can send over this. I'll just take a picture of this particular page that talks about the dental, and maybe you can put it into that the presentation that we sent you, or add it to it somehow.
Yeah,
if that would work.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ron, it's Kelly. Are you still on the call?
I am.
Hey, good to hear your voice. Will you be available a little bit later? Is your phone number still the same that I would have on you?
It is.
Okay. I just have a
not,
simple PDP
Ron,
that I need to do.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, Ron's phone number is 407-489-2945. And that's on the slides here as well, guys. But if you have his phone number, same phone number as well. Outstanding. Any other questions, guys? Wonderful. Well, thank you all for being on the call. Beth, Ron, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for sharing all the great news with Cigna. And if anyone needs to get, oh, you're very welcome. And again, make sure you get your certification done for Cigna. And if anyone needs that contract, please contact our office. You guys know how to reach us, and we'll get that contract sent out to you today. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and good luck selling out there.